couple of my friends are currently transitioning to natural hair. Maybe they watch the reasons why you should go natural video I did last year. Who knows? But they're transitioning. So, and I get a lot of like, I'll get like every so often texts and stuff on like, what about this and what about this and how to do this and what about when, you know. So I just wanted to do a video where I just talk about just some tips for if you're transitioning, if you just started transitioning, if you're contemplating transitioning. So yeah, all of that. So basically, get my handy dandy notes app. So the first tip I have is basically ask questions about other people who've already gone natural and just see what their journey was like when they decided to transition. Yeah, that's the best advice I can give you. Because a lot of times you see, like when you're inspired to go natural, what you see is like the girl whose hair, she's been natural 5 years, so her hair is like flowing all over the place and it's all gorgeous and wild and textured and stuff like that. But you know, she started at the bottom, I'm sure, with her natural hair journey. And another reason why you probably need to ask questions is because a lot of times people think it's like, oh, if I'm transitioning, it's basically like, you know, I just have my long relaxed hair and then it'll just grow out and I'll just keep doing what I was doing when I had my relaxed hair or when I was getting relaxers until I feel comfortable enough to cut it. And that's pretty much the basis of transitioning, but there's a lot of work that goes into transitioning. Me personally, I transitioned I decided to go natural in July of 2012. Yeah. And I big chopped in January of 2013. So basically I transitioned for about like 5 to 6 months. But the thing is, for like 4 of those months, I had kinky twisting. So my hair was like twisted, like none of my hair was, it was just protected for a good like portion of the transitioning time. So I literally spent only like a month and a half actually dealing with the two textures. And because of that month and a half that I dealt with those two textures is why I big chopped in January, because I was like, I'm done with this, I'm over it, just chop it all off, I don't even feel like dealing with it. So definitely before you like just go wholeheartedly decide to do it, if you're gonna transition, if you don't want a big chop, which is fine, make sure you talk to other people who have transitioned, because basically you can like, okay, if I'm like, I transitioned for 6 months and you're like, oh, okay, cool, so it's totally doable, but it's like, I actually technically only dealt with my hair for like a month and a half though, because I spent most of those months with my hair protectively styled, because I was not about that life. So definitely ask questions. So basically just know what you're getting into before you start transitioning, because it's a process. It's a process completely different from being all natural, and it's a process completely different from being relaxed, because you have two textures and you're looking for products that'll work for both, and very few actually do it well, and it's a hassle. And basically transitioning takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of patience to transition versus just chopping all your hair off and just dealing with it from there. To basically just start basic, like, and this is really advice for if you just big chop too, but just start with basic styles. A lot of times you get really ambitious, like you watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos and you're like, I need all the products, I need all the things, it's and then it's like a hot mess. Like you get overwhelmed. You're like, I didn't lock it right. I didn't put the moisture on top of the cream, on top of the oil, on top of the protector. No, just start simple. Like, get some clutch products that you like. I will honestly recommend to anybody, even though I don't use this line as much, even nowhere near as much as I used to. just because I've grown, like as my hair has grown, as I've learned more things about how my hair responds to things, I've found things that may or may not have worked better. But I would tell anybody to start with Shea Moisture. It's because it's made for natural hair, it's specifically made for natural hair, and it'll also work with your transitioning hair. So it won't, like it will do a little bit of something for both your natural roots and your relaxed ends. So that's good. That's really good. Plus it smells really good, and it's cheap. You know, like it's on the scale of natural hair products, it's cheap. And if you don't necessarily want to go with, say, like some of the cheaper products that are, you know, have a lot of chemicals in it, like if you're trying to like, no, I'm trying to go as organic as possible, definitely start with Shea Moisture or some other just basic line. Like, don't start out with the $20 conditioners and the $20 you know, leave-ins and the $20 shampoos, because those are great. Like, the reason why they're so expensive is because they're all natural products. But you have the same chance of those not working out for your hair as you do with Shea Moisture not working out, or with Pantene not working out, or, you know, just any of those brands, you know? So start, since you're gonna learn, you're learning more, you're gonna have to take the time and just learn what your hair responds to, because there's just a lot of things that factor into stuff. And even people who I'll have the same hair type with, certain products just don't do it. It won't do it for them, and that's fine. So I would say definitely start out basic with your products and start out basic with your styling. Just start basic though. Like just be basic. It's okay to be basic when you're transitioning. The third tip will be work on your own timing. Do not let people get in your ear about when you should and should not big chop. Big chop when you feel comfortable enough to big chop. My original plan was to start transitioning in July, and I was gonna transition until May of the next year. So I made a decision in June, July 2012. May 2013 was gonna be when I felt like my hair would be the length where I wanted it to be, and I would just big chop it then, and then my hair would probably be, you know, about 4, 5, 6 inches, you know, and it wouldn't be a huge change from, you know, my relaxed hair. But the thing is, after dealing with my hair for a month and a half, 2 months, I was like, I'm not about this life. And like I said, I chopped it all off in January. Went to the hairdressing, which was like, you know what, just, I don't even care anymore. It's too much. So, but that was my thing. I mean, but I know someone who, like, basically, I think they transitioned for almost a whole year. Like, they were patient enough to transition for a whole year. So work on your timing. Don't let people pressure you into when you need to be fully natural. Don't let people pressure you into what qualifies as natural and if you can color your hair. Now, work on your timing. Take it at your pace. It's your hair. It's your journey. It's your lifestyle choice, because it's definitely a lifestyle choice and a lifestyle change. So do it on your own time. I mean, you made the decision by yourself, so just do everything else like on the timing that you want, and you'll big chop when you want to big chop. There's no rush to big chopping. I personally would always recommend big chopping sooner than later, because it's just your hair grows a lot faster and it's just a lot less hassle. But whatever, hey, I've already chopped all my hair off, so I've been natural over here, so hey, whatever. Basically just experiment with your hair and just be confident. I mean, there's plenty of times when honestly I just like slept on my hair and didn't really prepare or do anything for it, and kind of just like woke up, threw some water in it, threw some cream or something, some leave-in in there, and was like, you know what, world, you just gonna deal with it the way it is. And people be like, your hair is so cute, girl, you're like, oh my gosh, I love your hair, and you're like, this is horrible. But you know what, if you're confident in it, other people will like it too, and that's all there is to it. I mean, just because you're going with transitioning is such a unique phase, because it's just, you're dealing with two textures, you're trying to figure out what looks best, what works best for both textures, and it can get a bit overwhelming. So just be confident, and it happens from there. But you learn your hair. I mean, transitioning is a good practice phase. for when you go natural. Granted, when your hair goes natural, it's gonna be a different experience. Like, you're gonna have another learning curve because it's just not the same. Dealing with relaxed hair is not the same as dealing with transitioning hair, and dealing with transitioning hair is not the same as dealing with natural hair. It's just not, because then when it's all natural, then it's just, you just have to do stuff for natural hair, and you gotta learn how that takes and how that holds, you know, styles and all different things like that. So just enjoy it. If you can't keep it braided up, or if you just don't have the patience for it, you know, just go ahead and big chop it. But hey, that's just me. Yeah, so those are my tips for if you're transitioning. So I hope this was helpful. Any other questions, just comments, any recommendations on, if you need recommendations on things that would work for your hair, I can totally help you with that. And yeah, so bye.